Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about why I joined eXp. I owned a large brokerage and I actually decided to sell it and move everything over to eXp, and these are the reasons why. So the first thing is, when I owned a brokerage, I actually was looking to open up more offices and build my footprint. Unfortunately, I bought a franchise and they said that there was no more territories available. All the territories had been sold already, and if I wanted to open up a second office or second location, I had to go really far away, which wasn't working for me or my family or my home life. So I went and looked at other brokers. Well, about 90% of the big brokerages are all privately owned. And so they said, well, look, we're not selling offices or franchises, we own everything. And I even asked them, okay, great, well, let me help you to build some more offices then. And almost every single one of them said, well, you know what, we're also not going to be building more or adding more offices, we're all downsizing. I didn't want to be in a company that was downsizing. I didn't want to be in a company that was limiting my growth based on their territories. I looked at buying another franchise or another business, and when you buy a business or a franchise, the first thing you need to know is you hold all the liability. Your name's on the lease, your name's on the contracts. If anything goes wrong or you get sued or anything happens, you're liable for everything. And when you run a small business with a lot of working parts, you'll find that there's a lot of liability in there. The other part about buying a franchise that I didn't like is you have to pay a franchise fee up front. I paid almost $50,000 up front just to apply to get into a franchise. After that, I had to be approved. I had to finish about a 300-page application and prove that I had almost 5 years of experience working in a business like that. You don't get to buy a McDonald's until you flip the burgers for a couple of years. You actually have to look at that. That's a true fact. In any franchise, you have to work inside the franchise or have intimate knowledge on how it works before you can even buy it. The other thing I didn't like is you have to do everything. Once you pay your franchise fee and fill out your application and get approved, you need to find your location, you need to hire your staff, you need to set up an office. You have to do everything. You have to constantly manage it. In hiring a staff for my real estate office, I needed to find a broker, front desk, marketing, accounting, and most importantly, you have to hire agents. You actually don't even get approved for a franchise to open up a real estate brokerage in most cases until you have 60 agents that have already guaranteed to sign over without you actually having a brokerage. Seems kind of crazy, right? You also need to pay ongoing royalties. So in addition to a large upfront franchise fee, every single month we had to pay our franchisor large fees. It was actually over 6 figures a year. I don't want to have to keep paying them all this money. The other thing is you need to sign a lease. To own a brokerage or most businesses that are storefront, you're going to have to sign a multi-year lease. You're looking at 5 or 6 years, a personal guarantee. If you don't pay the lease, your credit is destroyed. You need to set up an office. A typical office that's about 2,000 or 3,000 square feet, which are most real estate offices, are typically going to be a $50,000 setup fee. You need computers, IT, desks, furniture, copy machines. It costs a lot. So typically you're all in before you even open the doors in a typical brokerage or a small business. I would say that you're in about $250,000. And then your first 3 to 6 months, you're not going to be generating a lot of revenue. So you're going to have your operational costs, which are around $50,000 a month. It takes a long time and a long road and a lot of work to own one real estate office if somebody will sell it to you. In eXp, it's a completely different model. I want you to think of it as owning a brokerage in a brokerage, where eXp handles everything. There's no franchise fee, there's no application fee, you don't have to do everything, you don't have to hire a broker, they are the broker of record, you don't need a front desk or marketing or accounting, they actually handle that. They have concierges for all their agents, they have a full-time marketing department, they have a broker staff, HR staff, they do all that and they handle all the accounting. So when checks come in that are supposed to be going to you through rev share, they'll process the check, do all the work, and it gets direct deposited in your account. You don't need to do anything. In eXp, the only job that you have out of owning a brokerage is to just hire agents. You don't have to do all these other things. And in a typical brokerage, you'd have to hire at least 60 agents just to get started. At eXp, you can choose how big or how small you want your brokerage within a brokerage to be. And a typical example what you need to do is recruit 5 or 10 agents. All you have to do is recruit 5 or 10 agents. Typically in our company, every agent's gonna refer a few agents. Let's just say they're referring 3. If you brought in 5 agents and those 5 agents brought in 3, you'd have 15. And if those 15 brought in 3, you'd have 45. And if those 45 brought in 3, you'd have 135. And if you had those 135 bring in 3, you'd have 405. 405 agents is the equivalent to owning a mega, top performing, big market share, the biggest one in the city type real estate office. In order to do that, you need to buy the franchise, hire 60 agents, hire staff, put up $250,000 or more to get to that point. And eXp, all you need to do is bring in 5 agents.